I'm going to do a series of videos. I'm going to ultimately string them together and keep posting them on a YouTube channel. If you look for Sego Lily Midwife on YouTube, I think you'll find them. But today, One Cute Thing has asked me to do a live or a story on IVs. There's 3 reasons why out-of-hospital midwives might offer an IV. And the first is basic rehydration. In labor, you're vomiting, your stools are loose. It's like you're running a marathon, and we want to make sure you're not going to hemorrhage and be clinically exhausted. The second reason would be if you were tested and found to be positive for group B strep. I'll do a whole other video on that because that's an entire conversation. But in the hospital, it's standard of care. Women don't have choice. You have to have an IV antibiotics 4 hours before delivery. So 4 hours before labor is a problem, and a lot of women will choose out-of-hospital midwives, so they have some choice around that. We too are licensed and can offer IV antibiotics in labor if you choose, but there's some great studies on alternatives for that, and I'll do a whole video series on that for you guys. And lastly, why we might offer an IV would be if a mom is hemorrhaging or bleeding too much after a baby is born. Not only do we carry Pitocin to deal with the hemorrhage just like they would in the hospital, but we can offer IV fluids to just restore things. In my own practice, I have not offered women IV to combat exhaustion in labor, but I'm getting to the point where I'd like to offer that. I've seen it done a few times and it works really well and keeps women out of the hospital instead of going in for exhaustion. For group B strep, about half our women, I would say, based either in my own practice or working for other huge practices, I would say about half the women will choose IV antibiotics in labor for group B strep, and half will do an alternative or nothing. And you might ask how often we might give IV fluids to deal with a hemorrhage. I've never done it in 8 years of practice, but I try to keep my skills up in the event that I need to help keep a woman home or stabilize her before we go to the hospital if she's bleeding a little too much after birth. So that wraps up IVs. I'm going to put this up on my YouTube channel, and I'll keep doing them because I think I'm getting some positive feedback and questions on more topics. So DM me if you want any specific topics covered. I got a prenatal visit to go do, so I'm going to head out for that and catch you later.